How's it going today? Today we're going to review some stocks. My favorite thing to do on this channel is review them, look out for our investments and stuff like that, but we're going to get right into it. Make sure you like and subscribe. I can leave a link on these videos. I just kind of run through them and go from there with these. I mean, some of them have done pretty well over the last couple months and over the last year. It goes a year, 6 months, and then 3 months, So let's get right into it. A year ago, I picked Activision, CrowdStrike, and FICO, basically, and I picked those a year ago in August, and Activision has been the number one, and that up 74%. I mean, this thing has, I picked it actually, I did some discounted cash flows, and I think I talked about that in the video a little bit, and then I picked it, and I was like, this thing is a little undervalued. It was actually sitting at fair value, and I picked it, and that's up 74% with the pandemic going on, which I think this thing was just undervalued anyway at the time, so I believed it would have went up anyway, but it's really got a boost from the pandemic over the last couple months, or a couple months or whatever you want to call it, I guess in March. So, it's done very well. But compared to the market, up 15%, so the market's actually done pretty well year over year. The market took kind of a nosedive, but it kind of came roaring back, all this and all that. And now the next one is CrowdStrike. CrowdStrike was one of these stocks. I picked it. It's actually up 4%, actually losing to the market. But this is why it's very important to hold on to these things, because CrowdStrike was actually down, I think, over 70%. It was down 70%. So if it would have just stuck there, this thing has been on fire over the last couple months. This thing has just torn it up. I think it went all the way down to like 30. I picked it at I think 90 or 98 or whatever it was, 97, 96, and that thing came crashing back down. And that's kind of how some of these growth stocks are. They get hammered for no apparent reason. I think it was some competition worries, but this thing up only 4%, but this thing was actually up over 20%. Market sold off a little bit today. It's a Monday. Selling off a little bit from some of these tech stocks. They were really roaring pretty higher. It was actually up 20%, but then it came down a little bit, so 4% over year. These things are kind of volatile. It's kind of hard to give an accurate thing on these because they're volatile. They change 5-6% in a day, maybe on some days. More volatile than some of the bigger companies. But anyway, the FICO is, and then the FICO, basically it's Fair Isaac Corporation, think of FICO scores and stuff like that, up 24%. So this thing is kind of a fintech play. It's very, it's an essential, Think about every single time you need your credit check, they do all that credit checking and all that. The banks pay for the information. It's pretty easy, self-explanatory every single time. They do a little bit more than that, but think about, that's pretty needed business, so that's why I picked it. It's a nice growing industry also. Think about the fintechs and all that, all this technology getting in the financial thing, a cashless society and all that. But average all those together, up 34%. Over the 15%, so that's actually over the whole year. Actually, picked in August was actually double the market, and actually, it's kind of funny because I was looking at it, and some of these stocks actually almost about 2 or 3 months ago was actually getting killed from the market. It's actually down. So these things just kind of came alive over the last couple months. So that's why it's really, really important. If you're going to have a buy and hold strategy, you stick to that strategy. If you're going to buy and hold. Don't kind of trade in and out on a buy and hold strategy, because you're just not gonna get the time the market perfectly like these. And now the next one is Square. 6 months out, I picked Square, Appian, and GoDaddy. These things, actually, I picked these at an all-time high. The market was got a complete all-time high. And actually, the markets actually was down 1% at the time of this taping. It looks like it might hit an all-time high. Actually, it might do that. But anyway, I'm just going to do what the numbers are today. Square is actually up 79%. Appian's down 20%. GoDaddy is up only 2%. So, these things, once again, actually a lot of these Square, Appian, and GoDaddy, they were all down 50% when the market was down 30%. So I picked them in February, and then the market crashed the next week, and it was, we all kind of remember if we're in the market then. The market just went, and that was it, and these things went down. I think Square went down the most. I think it was down 60, 70%. This thing just got obliterated for no really apparent reason. No earnings came out. I think things were shutting down. Everybody was panicking. Actually, it was a great time to buy it. if you bought it, and actually was one of the stocks I bought for the next bull market when we finally went into a bear market. And Square has done well. I mean, think of financial technology. That's kind of the big trend. Majority of them are cloud-based or financial technology moving forward with everything and e-commerce and stuff like that. I feel like that's the trend. A lot of these companies kind of play into that. Happy in the same way. I mean, it helps you develop apps and stuff like that. Down 20%, but this thing was actually up. It actually hit an all-time high, then came back down. It was up over 10%, but came back down. I mean, like I said, the market's kind of sold off some of these tech companies that ran up so much. I think it's profit taking. I know they're going to come back to some of these companies because there's no reason to sell them for no apparent reason other than you made some money. You got to return it, you know what I mean? You might lock in those profits, you know what I mean? Kind of, if you will. And the next one is GoDaddy. GoDaddy's up 2%, so actually beating the market, but only a 2% over 6 months. Not the best, but GoDaddy is a commerce play. Think of names. So basically, every single website needs a web address, and that's what GoDaddy does. I mean, you pay to buy your domains. And actually, there was a thing that a lot of people used to do, where they used to trade these internet real estate. When people talk about that, they're talking about the domain names and GoDaddy. They would buy these keywords and they try to flip them. But anyway, that's a whole nother topic. That's kind of the internet real estate, you know what I mean? But anyway, I mean, the next one is I picked 3 months ago, and it was free cloud stocks for May. I mean, cloud computing is big. I picked Workday, ServiceNow, Datadog, and Workday, they're all up 8%. ServiceNow is up 13%, but Datadog pulling the load, pulling the train is up 38%. I mean, so really Datadog, but this thing was actually up over 55%. But like I said, they all got kind of hit when they sold off. I believe it's just profit taking. It could come back. It always does. But Datadog, it got kind of overvalued. I mean, a lot of these things were just, you know, I don't even know what to say with them. I mean, some of these things, they made absolutely no sense with the valuations. It actually came down, almost 10, 15%. I think it was down 30%. I think it was one of them that got hit for no reason. I believe they could come back. I forget which one that was. It was one of the cloud stocks I think I've recommended on this channel. But it was one of them, and Datadog got sold off on the earnings too. A lot of times, and I made a video on that, so make sure you subscribe so you get all these updates on these stocks and stuff like that, because I actually said I believe a lot of these companies will get hammered over the next couple months or so because of earnings. I always treat it like a filter. These stocks run up and they get clammed, you know what I mean? They get slammed. So essentially Workday's up 8%, ServiceNow's up 13%, Datadog's up 38%, up 19%, but the market's actually up 14%. So pretty good for the most part. Actually, it was up if the Nasdaq didn't sell off so much. I hate to repeat myself, but you know, it is kind of hard to make these videos because they change a lot. You know what I mean? They go in and out. You know, some days they do very good, some days they do horrible. And that's just the volatility of the market. But anyway, leave a comment in the descriptions of what you're looking at, what you're watching, and if you own any of these, hopefully you own most of them, at least Square and Activision, the good ones, hopefully. But anyway, that's all I gotta say. I believe in all these. I still own all of these in this video. So I recommend them also. Anyway, I like to review them to keep some transparency, because I'll see a lot of people uploading videos and stuff like that, but they never really talk about it. They never really go, wait a minute, you know, let's do this. But anyway, that's all I gotta say, and thank you for watching, and I could leave a video up for you in a bit, and thank you for watching. Thank you.